Hi guys, Matt Music 13 here. So today, given Silent Night's astronomical runtime, I thought it would be a good idea to do an audio commentary on it because, well, it was in production for well over a year, so there's lots of like little behind the scenes things that I can talk about. And yeah, I just thought that some of you might want to, you know, find out a little bit more what happened during production. But before I start, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who stuck with me for, you know, all this time since the last episode of series 2, and to get to this now and to see all your lovely comments and from all the people that watched it all the way through, and it's just been really, really great. So I'd just like to say thank you for that. And so yeah, let's begin. So when I first started working on Silent Night, I knew that it was going to open with the same opening scene, but I sort of toyed with lots of different ways of opening the film. Then I stumbled across this track, and I just really, really loved it. So yeah, I decided to have my opening logos appear to this track from Batman vs Superman.
I know this
So
must be hard.
this shot, while it looks,
But you need
fairly
to tell me
simple,
why.
it's actually got a lot of different things going on in it. Obviously, there's the sort of the skyline in the background and the rain, and obviously that will have to be masked in.
Just take your
But
time.
also, the original
Honestly,
shot, James's face
this
was
will
very,
help
very
you.
dark, so I had to sort of like lift that out a little bit.
My
Yeah,
friend,
but I really, really love that shot. I think it's a great way to open
the doctor.
the film. And obviously, this scene is completely inspired and ripped off from the Reichenbach Falls. And here, this way of introducing the title of the film was very, very late addition. It was only after I saw Rogue One and just fell in love with the soundtrack that I knew that it would be such a great way to introduce the title. Because originally it did just like continue on from that track from Batman vs Superman, but it didn't really have as much impact. So here we are, Natalis, 23rd of December. And I thought that it would be quite nice to sort of first establish a sort of like peace through the music and the sort of the montage around James's house before the Doctor appears and starts causing chaos. I did after I'd edited a lot of the film and started to play with the ideas of eyes closing, I did wonder if I should go back and make their eyes closed when they're sleeping, but that would have meant redoing the scene, and I didn't have the time to do that.
Hello?
Hello.
Are you on my
So,
roof?
This scene was edited very, very early on,
yes.
nearly
Yes,
as soon
I
as I'd filmed it, because I just wanted
Why?
to sort of get an idea of where I was going straight away.
Very good question.
And
Not really
then later
sure,
on
to
I
be
added all
totally
this
honest.
skyline
I've
in the
just kind of
background
landed on
as
it.
well.
You what?
And when I was filming
I
it,
landed
because
on
it was such like a back and forth,
Right.
like
How?
all of the dialogue
With
was
my
sort of
ship.
back forth. So I just decided to
Narrows it down?
just have those two shots between
So,
cut between them.
I'll be off
So I
then.
just thought it would be easier.
Hang on a minute.
What now?
Don't know if I
I want to
regret
see
that or
your
not,
ship.
but I think it works well enough.
No, that's really not a good idea. It has a sort of effect on people, and I'm really not in the mood for that now.
What sort of effect?
It's hard to explain.
Oh,
So I like to
Yeah.
think here that the Doctor
Merry
actually
Christmas.
knows that he's being sort of mysterious, and he's doing that deliberately because he wants to make it so that like James wants to find out, because obviously he knows that
right.
him and James end up travelling together.
Okay.
Yeah, I quite liked that idea of maybe the Doctor's sort of playing around.
One day to go.
And really, this
Yeah.
scene was You know, all the stuff that they talk
excited?
about really is sort of just
I suppose.
filler, really, because I just wanted
What's
to
wrong?
introduce Laura,
Nothing.
and give her a little bit more of a part
Not
to play,
stupid.
because she doesn't really do a lot
Okay.
in this film, and
But you won't
really,
believe
I
me.
think that I should have
Trying
found something else for her to do, and
So last night,
yeah, I kind of regret that.
there was this guy on our roof.
What?
I told you that you wouldn't believe
That's a
me.
bit of deep breath soundtrack here.
Keep talking.
Well, we were just talking for a while, and then I asked to see his ship. He said he had one. And then he got all defensive. He really didn't want me to see it.
See,
So I
what
went
the
up to
doctor's
the roof and
games have worked.
He was gone.
It's got James thinking about it.
Hmm.
Though
I
really,
know,
why
right?
wouldn't you think about it? Just a random
you sure
madman
this
appeared on
wasn't a
your
dream?
rooftop. Would be very
Pretty
strange
sure.
indeed.
Well, I'm sure it was nothing.
Yeah, you're probably right. Anyway, I need to get ready for work. That shop won't open itself.
Very rare occasion for me to use footstep sounds. Also, I'm not. The TARDIS is in the background there. I didn't make that quite as obvious as I thought I would. Also, the emptiest
Hiya.
shop in the world.
Can I help?
No thanks. Just browsing.
It's,
Okay.
when I was
Merry
designing
Christmas,
the
sir.
set, because it was only going to be in it for one
And to
scene,
you.
I sort of was a
I'll
bit
expect I'll be
lazy and
seeing you
didn't
at the church later then.
didn't really have anything
Yeah,
in there
well,
apart
I do
from a
like living
till.
here.
Yes, exactly. Although, there is the Great Protector.
Who?
They say he comes and goes.
I found it really, really
Nobody
difficult
knows
to
where he
sort
lives
of to
exactly.
score these
But sometimes he just
first few
appears out of
scenes, and
nowhere.
then for this bit,
That's
I
interesting. There
well, I
was a man
stumbled
a bit
across
like
the
that on my
Turn Left
roof
soundtrack and
yesterday.
just thought it was absolutely perfect, and
Really?
added that mystery to
anyway,
the Doctor that we had
I don't
sort
think he
of
goes to church.
back in Rose, really.
Anyhow, good day to you.
And to you.
This change from morning to night I did do in practical effects, but with lighting, but
Closing time
it wasn't
at
enough,
last.
so I had to sort of enhance it a little bit.
It's you.
Yes, it's me.
You were on my roof last night.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
No,
See the Doctor's
I
changed costume.
I gotta go.
I wanted, because I knew
Wait.
that his main costume was his red jacket, but I had other ones that I'd made, so I wanted to get the brown one in there a little bit, so I had it in the start, and also it appears very
Jane,
late.
are you alright?
It appears later on
Yeah.
when he's
Yeah,
saying
fine.
goodbye to
I just
James.
saw that man again.
But he's not here now.
He just vanished again.
In these shots, I
There's
wanted to
something
sort of
else.
to show
There's something missing.
the skyline
What do
in
you
the
mean?
background, because I was sort of
pretty
playing
sure
around with
there
the
was something
software,
on
and
that
I realised
street
that I could
corner
do
this
that.
morning.
So yeah, in those
You're
shots, I
probably
really
just
wanted to sort of
imagining
just say, look, I can do this,
I hope so.
and have the lamp flickering at the top
Anyways.
as well.
We need to go. We don't want to be late for church now, do we?
Yeah. Alright, let's go.
Not really sure why I included the silence in this. I think in the original story for the script, they had a bigger role, but I just thought I'd keep them in there because it sort of implies that maybe this church is linked to the papal mainframe. Sorry. Clara in the TARDIS. It's a brilliant piece of music from Murray Gold. Originally, this scene was a lot more ripped off from the Snowmen as well, but I decided that I decided to keep it a little bit simpler. And obviously, I tried to add a shot in the TARDIS there, but I mean, I think it worked all right, but I don't know. Oh, this is another one. That shot there is another one of my favourite shots, I think. Yeah, I really, really like it. The sort of the slow twist of the camera as well. A lot of these shots are much longer than I would have intended, but I was just trying to fit the piece of music because it didn't really work to have that music continue on into their conversation. The Doctor in the TARDIS.
Oh,
It's alright, really. I don't mind.
I think this is one of
Sorry,
the
I
only
just-
piece of unreleased
I
music
know.
that I used in
Strange man
this.
appears on rooftop.
It's from
then
Rose.
disappears
It's
without
when Rose first enters the TARDIS.
what is this place?
And I think you can
I
still
don't
hear
understand.
Christopher Eccleston
It's
talking
bigger
over the
on
top a little bit.
inside. Actually bigger.
But I don't
This
mind
place?
because it's
Oh, it's
brilliant scene,
my
brilliant bit of
spaceship.
music.
No big deal, really. You can travel through space and time. Big whoop.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, right. Space and time is kind of a big deal, isn't it?
Kinda, yeah.
I'm over it now.
Why were you outside the church? I heard you don't go.
I don't go. You're right.
Then why were you stood outside?
Something smells fishy about that church. There's something wrong. Something out of the ordinary.
It's just the church. Nothing ever changes in there.
Well, I disagree. And I would like to go and investigate. Are you coming?
There's this shot of the door closing. That was all done in post, and I was really, really happy with that. I thought it looked great. Might
What's
might
that
try and
awful
do that a
noise?
little bit more in series 3.
What do you mean, awful noise?
Another one of my favourite shots
You
there.
know, that's very
I
rude.
love the
and it could
lighting in
hurt
it,
her
and I love the
feelings.
flicker of the fire in the
Hurt
background.
whose feelings?
The TARDIS is
Who?
this place. It's called the TARDIS.
But it's just a machine. Doesn't have feelings.
Yes, she does. You're so rude.
Sorry.
Oh, this shot was in the very first trailer, and I actually think that this shot worked a lot better in the trailer because of the music. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it in this. I do really like the shot. And it was in this shot that I decided that I'd keep the TARDIS lamp
We've
on
moved.
when it was landed.
Seriously, how did we move?
Also, in this
Did
scene
I
here,
fall
in
from the sky?
the original cut,
No, of course we didn't. fall
James
from the
called
sky.
the doctor
What did they teach you
the
at school
doctor,
these
but I
days?
realised that he hadn't actually
did
learnt
we
his name
move?
yet, so I had to
It's
cut
very
it out a little bit
complicated
of
and
a
it would take
plot
too
hole
long to
there.
explain.
But I sort of
Now, come on.
sort of
Don't want
worked
to be
out
late for
that
the church,
because
now do.
the head priest in a minute calls the doctor, so sort of figured that's where James would sort of get it
Where
from.
is
But
everyone?
oops, little plot hole there.
Hello?
I forgot to actually tell James what his name was.
Something's wrong.
Told you.
What do we do?
Yes, Doctor. What do you do?
Daniel Mulholland here,
Where is everyone?
excellent voice actor.
Yes,
Of course,
I heard you
appeared
the
all the
first
way
time.
throughout series 2
What's the answer then?
as the
They've gone
last
home.
Doctor and
What?
the
There's
mysterious
no
man
service today.
several times,
But it's
as well
Christmas
as
Eve.
the Time Lord Officer
What are you
in
up to?
in the finale.
why
So
would
yeah,
I
he
tell you
appears
that,
a lot
Doctor?
throughout the series,
Isn't there
and of
something
course,
religion that's
in this
supposed to
episode, you
tell why?
finally find out who
This
he
is
really is.
beyond religion, Doctor. This is about control.
When is it not?
At midnight tonight, the whole of
think
Natalis
he
will
really,
be
really
under the
does a
control
brilliant
of the
job.
church.
You basically have
I'm
control
so
over
glad
the
to have had
planet
him
anyway.
work on this series.
We have to go to church, or you
Yeah, he's
hunt us
been
down and
really,
kill
really
us.
great at getting me lines.
Oh, of course.
What?
Their control is slipping. More and more people are missing services.
Exactly. We seek to bring an end to this failure in society.
But how are you going to change things? You can't literally force people to do something.
Actually, we can. And we will.
Is that what you're building on your rooftop?
How very observant of you, Doctor.
I try. Now, if you don't mind, we really must be going.
I cannot allow that.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Oh, finally got in a good man. Because we're 13 minutes in, and I was like, oh, I should have got a good man in by now. So when I got to this scene, I was like, yes, this is the perfect opportunity. This shot was because I did it in the Android Assassin, so I thought I'd try and do it again, but it didn't quite work as well. And I could have done it a little bit better, but I'd already exported it by
How
that
did we
point,
do
so I
that?
wasn't going to go back
Shut up,
and
please.
try and do
Short
it
hops are
again.
difficult.
But where are we going?
To pick up that girl, Laura. I thought I said shut up.
This particular version of A Good Man actually appears twice in this episode. I'll point it out again later. But I really, really like it, and I think it was one of the tracks that sort of leaked with the soundtrack, and it wasn't actually on the final one. Sorry, in this little
Laura,
sequence here, I think the music
out
is
here.
far too quiet and it really, really bothers me.
What is it? Who's this?
This is the doctor. That man I was telling you about.
The one who was on our roof?
See, now he knows his name,
Yep.
but he never actually got told.
Oh yeah, about that.
Look, never mind about that. Doctor, you haven't told me what's going on.
Inside the TARDIS. Then I'll explain.
Again, this track also gets used again later on in the
It's
episode.
Smaller on the outside. Well done for having eyes.
Doctor, what is going on?
I really, really liked the idea of having the TARDIS lights orange and go to white.
On top of the church.
So
there is
yeah,
a
that
machine.
was
I don't
something
know
that I
what
had
it
to
does yet.
introduce midway
Up
through
behind you.
series 2 because originally I was
To
going to have
share
it
it
blue
then?
to white, but I thought orange
I think
looked
it's
so
going
much
to
better.
project a mind control field
Yeah, I'm
around
really, really
this
glad that I
planet.
did that.
Mind control.
Yes, it's the only logical solution. But how does that work? I'm not sure yet.
How can we stop it?
I really do not know.
The Doctor seems a
Then
little bit
where are we
clueless at the
going?
moment. Doesn't really know anything.
Take a look outside.
This track I used in A Companion's Farewell, so I thought that I'd try and get it into this as well because it sort of links to whole
Is that?
James's
Yep.
sort of suite of music.
That's Natalis.
Yeah.
Why have you brought us up here?
The mind control won't affect us up here.
What a load of
But we
rubbish.
should be able to see when it activates.
Just all making
So
stuff
now
up
we
here.
just wait.
I don't think we'll have to wait long.
Trying to
The
kill
head
time.
priest knows that I will want to stop him.
We will stop him, won't we?
I hope so.
That pink was also all done in post, and I was quite pleased with that effect. I was also quite happy with a lot of the sort of the space scenes that I did in
It
this
started.
film. Here's the clip that I released
What do
in
we
the
do?
episode. I thought this would be quite a good one to release because you sort of think that that would be well into the
How does
episode.
that work?
You think, oh, they're building to
Clue.
the
I was just
climax
taking
of the
a
story,
punt.
but
Anyway,
actually,
we'll
no,
land
you're
on
only
the roof of
16
the
minutes
church
in.
right by the machine and try to deactivate it.
And that'll reverse the effects?
Probably.
Probably is
I think-
good enough for me.
Honestly, that's
Good, because that's all you're ever getting.
having sort of the episode be split up into a little story at the start that then unfolds into a much bigger story. I think that works quite well in such a long animation because, you know, you don't want to be sitting through half an hour of just exposition. You want to have a little story, you know, complete in half an hour,
That's a rather
and then maybe get a little bit more exposition in the
What
middle
do
because
we
you want to
do?
find out what's going on, and then sort of go into the final act.
It's not working.
Also, it was quite nice to actually
What's
have a flare, an
It's a
actual light
screwdriver.
on
Don't
the
ask
sonic
for a
screwdriver
reward.
instead of just having it change from
Yes,
a
Doctor,
clear stud
you're
to a blue
right.
stud, as I have
But
done
you can't
before.
do anything about it.
Why don't you ever just announce yourself before
Bit of
appearing
Game
around
of
the corner?
Thrones
It's kind of
music
creepy.
here,
My point
because I
still
think
stands, Doctor.
Ramin
You
Djawadi
can't
is
do
just a
anything
god
about
when
it.
it comes to
I'll
composing.
think of something.
Whether you can think of something is irrelevant, Doctor. I have a solution.
Oh, this shot. I don't know if I like it or not, but I think, you know, it works well enough. Also, just suddenly the fire magically disappears. The whole
What did you do that for?
changing the sky
There's only
from
one way
orange
to
to
stop it
purple
now, and
was
only
actually because
I
I
know
started
the
filming
truth.
the scene and then realised that the
Shut
sky
up.
should have been
Everyone
purple.
shut up.
So I just sort of
Oi,
invented that little bit
That's my
there.
thing.
Shut
Because,
up.
yeah, I mucked
There
up.
must be a key. Think, James. Think. It's a church. What would a church do?
James, what are you thinking about?
I like the idea
Stupid
that
boy,
James
he's
is the
losing
one
his
that sort of
mind.
comes up with all the solution for this. Really, the Doctor doesn't do a lot of the
That's
whole
better.
saving of the day. It's
Now
really
I
his
have an idea.
companions that have all the ideas.
Well,
And
don't hold
you know,
back.
I was quite keen to sort
It's
of
a church.
have that,
The code will be
especially
the
as James only gets this one
Well, it's hardly
episode
going to be
really,
Don't Stop Me Now, is
being
it?
the Doctor's companion.
No.
So I thought, you know what,
But I know what it
I'll
is.
make him
Services
really
always
clever.
talk about how this
You know,
planet
he
only
can
knows silence. It's
he
the
can
only one
have
in
all
the
he can
solar
call all the
system.
shots, and
The nearest planet to us is Alamar.
Yeah, I think
different
Jimmy does a
sun.
really, really good job at playing
Where are
James,
you
and I
going with this?
regret not having him
There's a song.
in it for longer.
called,
But I don't have the
Silence
time.
is all you know. I can sing it.
Exactly. That should stop the machine.
Oh, James, you are brilliant.
Yes, he is.
Is there anything we can use to project Laura's voice?
Yeah, this. Great.
So I decided to have 2 songs in this just because I really, really love this first song. I mean, because naturally you just assume, oh, I'll just have Silent Night, given that the episode is called Silent Night. But I thought, nah, let's have another one in there. Add a little bit of jeopardy. Make them get it wrong the first time, and then they can get it right the second time. And also, it gives Laura a little bit more to do, because really, you know, I probably shouldn't admit to this, but these singing scenes are the only reason she exists, really, because she doesn't really do much after this. And yeah, like I said, I regret not having her do more, but you know, I just had too many characters to sort of balance. And also, I introduced her so that obviously later on I can give James a happier ending. So yeah, I'll talk more about that later when it comes to it. Obviously though, I did cut these songs down by quite a lot, because I won't make you sit through the whole 4-minute song. So here you get sort of the, oh dear, it's not worked, and then they realise what
Why
they
didn't it
actually need to do.
Maybe it wasn't the right song.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, so again,
Everything
going back to
fitted.
that point about the
It all
companions
added
being
up.
more important in this, I like the fact
Hang
that
on.
James is sort of the most
What?
confused. He's
That
like,
isn't
why
the
didn't it
only
work?
song
When
to do
really
with
the Doctor
silence.
should be like that.
Of course.
Silent Night.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly
Yeah, I thought I'd get a little bit of
It worked. Laura, you
Series
freed them
4
all.
soundtrack in there,
Well, I
and
couldn't
also
have done it
because
without you two.
this little track here for the transformation I really,
How?
really liked, and I thought
It's over.
would work well. This bit,
I don't think so.
the sort of, oh no, things have actually gone wrong.
What? You?
Yes. Me.
In this bit, I
What are you
wanted to
doing?
use the Master's
I've
suite
been
because I wanted
watching
to
you.
make people think, oh,
I've been watching
he
for
actually
a
the
very
master?
long time now.
You know, I wanted to make
Why?
people come to that
Look,
conclusion,
Just tell me
but
why
no,
you're here.
he's not the Master.
I thought it was time to tell you who I am.
You're the Doctor. The last one, I mean. You're my last face.
You see, now that is what you'd call a lie.
Then tell me. Who are you?
I am Thronwyn.
See, I wanted to have this reaction shot there of the Doctor's face going grim before we actually knew who
Yes.
Thronwyn is.
That's right.
That's impossible.
Get a bit of Sherlock soundtrack
Doctor.
in there.
What's going on? Who is he? Who's Thronwyn?
He's my brother. My dead brother.
Ooh.
Now you see,
how
now
is he
that
your
you
dead
know
brother?
this, you can't be allowed to continue. You just can't.
This scene also inspired from
I
Sherlock.
would try to convince you, but everything I have to say has already crossed your mind.
Probably my answer has crossed yours.
James, don't.
No, James. Do.
Who's it gonna be then? The Doctor or you?
Let's see which one of us will blink first.
So originally, that was the end of the first part. You know, that was going to be the cliffhanger, and I was going to leave you for a bit before giving you the second part. But actually, it just serves sort of better as a end of Act 1 when I put the whole thing together.